What's up everyone, I'm Hoopsmiles, and in this video I'm going to show you how to lift the hoop up off your body into lasso, this hand hooping position right here, and then also how to bring the hoop back down to waist hooping on your body. Now to do these hoop tricks, you will need to know how to hula hoop around your waist and then also how to hula hoop in lasso. Now before I give you the instruction to both the lift up and bringing the hoop back down to your waist, I do want to let you know that the hoop size that you use for this trick is really important. Typically, if you use a bigger size hoop, generally this trick is going to be much easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do the lift up into lasso just like this. Now before you even get started, just want to let you know that if you spin the hoop clockwise around your body, you're going to go ahead and use your left hand to perform this trick. But if you spin the hoop counterclockwise, then you're going to go ahead and use your right hand to perform this trick. And just so you know, I will look at this hoop trick in both directions. So I'm first gonna show you how to lift the hoop up, spinning the hoop clockwise to the right around your body. So to get started, you're gonna take your left hand and you're going to insert it in between the hoop on your lower back. So I'm gonna turn around so you can get an idea of what that looks like. So you're just gonna, I would just recommend getting comfortable with having your hand inserted in between the hoop and your back right there. And each time that that hoop hits your hand, that is an opportunity to lift the hoop up above your head into lasso. One way to think of this trick is it's very rhythmic as the hoop is going around your body. So imagine each time that that hoop hits your hand, it's sort of like a beat, okay? So if I were to track the beat of this hoop, it'd be like da, 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 and every time on that beat, that's when I can lift the hoop up and then bring it into lasso. But for some of you out there, it may be challenging just to have your hand in this position on your back, you know, with the hoop hitting it, you know, your hoop might be sliding or kind of falling. So in that case, I would recommend just getting comfortable with having your hand there for a while. And as you get more comfortable, then I would recommend practicing the next step, which is finally grabbing the hoop and then bring it above your head. Now, it may feel like this is a really fast hoop trick. I will be showing some slow motion at some point in this video. But let's go ahead and look more closely at grabbing the hoop. So the key here, when you grab that hoop, is pretty much you want to grab that hoop firmly. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to start to move that hoop up. And one way to think about that sort of movement is sort of imagine your hoop is like a corkscrew. And as you lift your hoop up, think of your elbow as a guide for this trick. So more or less, you're going to guide with your elbow upward, moving that hand in sort of that corkscrew motion diagonal across your body. And then eventually, when you get to maybe around this point of the trick, you're going to fully extend your hand up to finish that transition into lasso position. But if what I just said didn't make any sense at all, let's go ahead and look at that in slow motion. Now, something else to think about when doing the lift up is after you grab the hoop and you start to bring it up, sometimes transitioning into that lasso position above your head can be really challenging. Now, if you're finding that you're trying to make that transition and the hoop is just flinging off, I feel like, that can sometimes happen when first learning this trick, but I would just recommend to really practice doing that transition. Also too, you may also need to just practice your hand hooping skills too, because if your hand hooping skills are really poor, then it's gonna be really hard to make that transition into lasso above your head. Something else you might wanna think about when you are doing the corkscrew motion upward, lifting your hoop up, is how close is your hand to your body? Because something I would avoid is, doing your lift up and having your hand way out here so far from your body like this. So I do recommend trying to find sort of that sweet spot where your hand is not too far away, but then also not too close to your body. So that's something to think about as well. Also, another tip when lifting up your hoop and then this also applies for bringing down your hoop as well, is really just listen to the speed of your hoop. Listen to your hoop, okay? Because if you are grabbing your hoop and you're going way too slow and that hoop is getting stuck and it's going diagonal, you know, you might need to work on doing this trick faster, and that's where using a bigger hoop size I feel like can make this trick easier. Also too, you know, if you're trying to go way too fast, you know, that could also be a problem too. Who knows? So I would recommend really just listening to the speed that your hoop is going so that you can really practice that flow when doing your lift up. Also, when doing your lift up and then also bringing the hoop back down to your body, I do recommend that you try doing this while spinning in the same direction that you spin your hoop. I feel like sometimes spinning in the same direction can make this trick easier. Now, something else that you can try, especially if you're struggling to make that transition into lasso, is when you grab your hoop, you can go ahead and place it on your other hand and then raise your other hand up. Now, to do that, you can go ahead and just take your other hand and kind of just put it in front of your face like this, and then simply just lift the hoop up, place it on your other hand, and then extend your other hand up into lasso. So now it's time to learn how to do the lift up, spinning the hoop counterclockwise to the left. So for this trick, you're gonna go ahead and use your right hand. So it's very similar to spinning it the other direction. Pretty much you're just doing the same sort of steps, but instead just with your right hand. To get started, go ahead and take your right hand and you're going to insert it in between the hoop and your back like so. And then you're going to go ahead and grab that hoop and then lift it above your head into lasso. So let's go ahead and look at that trick in slow motion. Something else you might want to try if you are struggling with your lift up, if that hoop, you know, isn't clearing your body, or maybe it's, you know, hitting your head or something as you're bringing it up, you might want to go ahead and just try simply ducking down as you lift that hoop up. Now, if you're wondering how big of hula hoop you should use for this trick, I just wanted to give you a demonstration with a giant size hoop. When I set this hoop on the ground, it comes up almost to my chin. Now, if I go ahead and hula hoop this around my waist here, and if I try to lift this hoop up, yes, this hoop feels way slower when bringing it above my head, and then if I place it back down on my body, it feels way slower bringing it down. So yes, the size of your hoop that you are using for this trick greatly makes a difference. I also want to say that a lot of you out there are probably not going to need a hula hoop this size to perform, you know, both the lift up and bringing the hoop back down. But I just wanted to put out there and just really emphasize hoop size and the importance of it. If you are struggling, maybe start with a hoop size that comes up to about your chest in diameter when you set it on the ground. You know, if that doesn't work, you know, maybe try a bigger hoop, you know, and maybe for some, you know, try a smaller hoop, who knows? So go ahead, try different hoop sizes. I feel like the hoop size when doing this trick makes a huge difference. And if you are still struggling with this trick, please jump down to the comment section and let me know what's going on, because I might be able to help you. Now I'm going to show you how to bring the hoop back down to continue waist hooping around your body. To get started, start by spinning the hoop in lasso. Now, in terms of which hand you should use, you can bring the hoop down using both your right and your left hand. I do recommend that you learn how to bring the hoop down using both hands, as well as spinning the hoop in both directions as well. Going back to spinning the hoop in lasso on your hand, what you want to do with your other arm is I would just recommend, you know, getting it out of the way. So when you first do this, maybe just keep your arm close to your body. And then the next step is pretty much, you're going to more or less just lightly grab the hoop and then sort of direct it back down to, I would say, your belly button region. And then that's when you're just going to throw the hoop around your body. So let's go ahead and look at that again. So I keep my other arm close to my body, and I'm more or less just sort of grabbing that hoop, and then I'm just bringing it down to throw around my body. So let's go ahead and look at that trick in slow motion. Now in that last demo, I was spinning the hoop clockwise to the right, but currently I am spinning the hoop counterclockwise. So you can also bring the hoop down, spinning it in this direction as well. So if I want to do that, pretty much just going to bring my arm close to my body and then grab that hoop slightly and then bring it down and then give it a nice big spin. So let's go ahead and look at that trick in slow motion. Once you can bring the hoop back down to your body counterclockwise, spinning it on one hand, go ahead, switch to your other hand, and then practice on the other side as well. Also too, as you get better bringing your hoop back down to your body, you don't necessarily have to keep your arm so close like this. You can eventually, you know, practice moving your arm. You can also practice lifting it up through the hoop as well as you bring the hoop back down. Something else that I recommend you practice when bringing your hoop back down to your body is trying to place it on different locations on your body. So, you know, maybe try to bring the hoop back down and place it on your chest. Something else you might try to do is bring the hoop back down and then place it sort of below your waist, closer to your legs. So that is something that you can try as well. Is when you bring that hoop back down, is try you know, placing it on different parts of your body. Also, when bringing the hoop back down to your body, I don't recommend that you try to force anything. You know, really listen to the speed, the flow of your hoop, and really, you know, try to have a smooth transition as you bring that hoop back down to your waist. Also, something I recommend practicing when doing this trick is exploring, you know, how you grab the hoop. Because in some cases, depending on which hand you are using, you may not have to, you know, grip the hoop as firmly to bring it back down to your waist. There are so many different trick possibilities that you can do here. You know, one being is if you combine both the lift up and bringing it down, you can do a hoop trick called the vortex, which looks like this. You can also go into a pizza toss and then catching it and then bringing it back down to your body as well. So there are a bunch of different hoop trick possibilities that you can do with both of these tricks. If you are interested in learning how to do this sort of continuous vortex motion, I do have a tutorial that will teach you this on my channel. I also have a tutorial for learning the pizza toss as well. So yes, I will put links to those videos in the description of this video. Also, if you're interested in seeing some vintage Hoopsmiles, I believe the first ever video that I posted to my channel was of me doing a lift up tutorial. Yes, so if you want to check that out, I'll put a link to that video as well. I also have an ancient video of me bringing down the hoop as well. So both of those tutorials are many years old. And if you do want to check those videos out, I did put links to those videos in the description of this video. If you are interested in seeing more hula hoop content by me, I have a bunch of hula hoop videos on my channel, including different hula hoop tutorials for beginners, also some more advanced hula hoop tutorials. So I do recommend going to my channel and checking that out. Thank you so much everyone out there for watching. Until next time, enjoy.